What up, YouTube? Shout out to the men, the women, and even you sorry ass niggas. I want to welcome everybody to another edition of Naughty Talks. I am the Naughty One, aka the Black Mane with the Black Mane, and we back again. Another night of hoops, ladies and gentlemen. And we just gonna start right off with the games. We ain't gonna waste no time. OKC dominated Denver 102-87. Shea led the way with all led all scores. Excuse me, talking too fast. Let me slow down. Shea led all scores with 28 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 7 rebounds. But Chet Hey, Chet starting the year off real nice. Had a monster game, putting up 25 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 4 blocks while shooting 61% from the field. Hey, Chet, that is a good way to start off the season. I know him and Wemby be battling, but Chet won the Wemby battle tonight. Wemby didn't play that well, but we'll talk about that later. OKC as a team, though, they didn't shoot very well from the three-point line, only shooting 22% from the field. Jalen Williams, one of their marksmen, also was struggling, so that 22% is trash, but it definitely wasn't the worst shooting on the night. But they still played more than well enough to win the game. I think OKC wanted to send a message, but I think when you play in Denver, a team that's already won the title, OKC is clearly hungry, and I think that's what they showed Denver. But Denver being a season champion, this message would hit a whole lot harder, later on in the season. But you know, Joker was the Joker, another triple-double. I want to say that's 138th of his career, 16 points, 12 rebounds, 13 assists. I feel like Joker could have did more offensively trying to score, but I do like the aggression that Joker got. Joker trying to put niggas in the rim. On a couple different occasions, Joker tried to put people in the rim. So I like that kind of aggressiveness. I like that attacking of the basket. The biggest takeaway was the struggles from Jamal Murray and Russell Westbrook. And Jamal Murray only had like 12 points, 4 of 14 from the field, 2 of 6 from the three. With your second best player shooting like that, it's very hard to win games. And then when you got I don't know if Russ is his backup or what, but when you got Russ coming in, shooting 2 of 10 from the field, 1 of 6 from the three, 1 of 4 from the free throw line, going 20%, 16%, 25%, you're not finna win no fucking games. Especially, I mean, Russ had good hustle plays, but nigga, scoring wins the game. And if you taking 10 shots and you ain't hitting nothing like that, it's hard to win. Denver just didn't look like they really cared last night. It is early in the season, like I said. One thing about champions, other than Boston, because they're trying to send a message to people, we're trying to repeat. Most teams that have won a title, multiple titles, they will kind of not really take the early of the season too serious. But hey, shout out to OKC, dominating win in my opinion, locked them up. Like I said, outside of the Joker, pretty much nobody else was really doing anything. Minnesota steals a game from Sacramento, 117-115. Randle led all scorers with 33 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. He shot 13 of 17 from the field, 5 of 6 from the three-point line. Now we know good and goddamn well we will not be getting this Randle on a nightly basis, but if they can get somewhat close to this kind of a Randle, Minnesota might be on to something. Them GMs in Minnesota might be on to something. Him and Edwards can get to learn to play a two-man game. I think they can be really effective. However, Anthony Edwards, he did put up 32 points. However, he shot 10 of 24 from the field. We know Anthony Edwards is going to get his touches, but the shooting percentages at this time are not the best. He's really only getting his numbers because of how many shots he is getting. Naz Reid did add in 19 points, 13 rebounds, but I think this game, Minnesota did win this game, but Sacramento lost this game. DeRozan led all scorers on the Kings with 26 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Murray and Sabonis both chipped in 20 plus. Murray, 23 points, 11 rebounds. Sabonis, 24 points, 8 rebounds. But when you're Sacramento, man, and you got DiVincenzo and Michael Conley going 3 from 13 from the three, which DiVincenzo really has been struggling. Conley really has been struggling. Neither one of their shots have been falling. We know they're going to get better on. So if you can, while they're struggling, if Randle can find his rhythm and those two shooters come along later on in the season, hey, Minnesota, like I said, they might have something. But like I said, when you got those two players shooting 3 of 13 from the three-point line, Sacramento forced 16 turnovers. They only had 9 themselves. They out-rebounded Minnesota. You got to be able to finish these games. This is the same problem Sacramento's been having from when they lost to Golden State in the playoffs. You got to be able to finish these kind of games. I know it's early in the season, but y'all have been together. This ain't no new team. This ain't that. Y'all got DeRozan, but he's a vet. He can fit in. As you can see, he had no problem fitting in. But you guys got to be able to close games. And I mean, y'all getting DeRozan is kind of like, might be y'all identity, to be honest. He great player, but even in times when he had the best teams, he couldn't close games. And that's how I feel. I think Sacramento lost this game. Minnesota won, but I think Sacramento lost. You can't force more. You can't force double turnovers, out rebound them, and still lose the game. Y'all got to be able to finish. Mavericks beat the Spurs 121-09. I did predict this one game. I think I forgot about all the other games, so there was only one prediction. Didn't write down none of these games, so I'm not going to have predictions for this one. We'll just talk as they play. But Mavericks was led by their big three. Luka putting up 28 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, one assist shy from another triple-double. Klay, hey, big night from Klay. Although, Klay, you had 22. I give it to you. You had your 22 points, 7 of 13 from the field, 6 of 10 from the three. You had your numbers, I get it. But you was being guarded by Chris Paul majority of the game, so I'm not finna get too hyped about these numbers. Majority of your numbers were on Chris Paul. You can't control who they put on you. You can only do what you have to do, and you did that. So we're gonna wait to see against some better competition with teams better equipped to guard you. We'll see then, and we'll hope it. But hopefully you can sustain this play, because if you can, the Mavericks might be onto something with that high pick and roll with you and Luka. That's a nice little run. Kyrie and Lively both chipped in 15. Lively did add 11 rebounds. The biggest thing outside of the big three was the defense that Lively and the other big, I really don't remember his name. I can't remember his name. But they were able to really give Wemby some problems. You got Lively who can guard Wemby out there on the wing, and then when Wemby tries to go in the paint, you got the other big is clogging it up. But the Spurs just got manhandled. Wemby had 17 points, 9 rebounds. Wemby, that ain't gonna cut it. You 7'6". You're a 7'6" guard. You got to be getting at least 17 and 15. If you ain't gonna be going off in points, you got to be at least damn near identical with rebounds. Chris Paul though, trash start, man, trash. And I thought this might be a good fit. Maybe they will get better. But if this is the beginning sign of things to become, it ain't going to be good, people. Chris Paul, 3 points, 1 of 6 from the field, 1 of 4 from the three, 16%, 25%. One thing that I've known, when you have a player like Wemby, if you have Zohan leading the Spurs in scoring and Wemby only got 17, there's a good chance the Spurs did not win the game. Wemby, this is not going to cut it. My boy, I can't defend these numbers. With the way Chris Paul was struggling, you needed to step up more in the wager way, and it looked like the two bigs had you flustered. This is your second year. I can't give you those passes. Wemby, we're gonna need this. This is gonna have to step up, my boy. If you ain't gonna have 20 points, then you need to have 17 and 15. You need to have a double-double. That's mandatory. You're 7'6", no excuses. If Sohan's gonna be leading the scoring, I don't see the Spurs winning very many games. And to end off the night, ladies and gentlemen, Boston makes stop number 2 in Washington on the Smack'em tour. Not much else to say. Boston's big three did what they had to do. You have Jason Brown putting up 27. You had Jason Tatum putting up 25. You had Derek White putting in 19. The game was over early. And Boston is trying to send such a message that against these scrubs, Jaylen Brown was still in there putting up points, making sure his average looked good, making sure he got that 27 points. But when they got too many shooters, that's number one. They got too many shooters. But when you got Brown, Tatum, and White going for damn near 70 points, they're gonna be tough to beat. And right now they look unstoppable. Let's just be real with it. And some nights they're not gonna shoot well, but they have so many weapons that they can make up for the lack of shooting. They don't mind playing defense. One night Al Horford might go for 20 something. You just never know with the Boston Celtics. And Washington was Washington. What do we expect? Jordan Poole played well. Big first half pause for him. 9 of 17, 6 of 11 from the three, but that was it. He got no help from Kuzma. 12 points, 6 of 16, 0 for 5 from the field, from the three-point line. With Poole and Kuzma, being surrounded, making up the youngest starting lineup, Kuzma's gonna have to play better than this. And I don't know, man. I'm not gonna steal what people say. Kuzma, get your ass in the fucking gym. 0 for 5. You done hit 1 3. That's your game. The shooting is your game. How are y'all not making shots? Like I said, the Wizards as a team, bruh, they shot 7 of 36 from the three-point line. 6 of those came from Jordan Poole. That is 19%. This is a three-point league. That is not going to cut it. And if you're just going to be hoisting them up, be practicing them. They need to get in the gym. Too many teams aren't in the gym, man. I get it. Everybody getting money. Everybody enjoying life. But get in the motherfucking gym. These shooting percentages are terrible. Some teams obviously are in the gym. Some teams are shooting great, but some teams are shooting great. But some teams, what they're doing is just not gonna cut it. I didn't look up the injury report, but like I'm saying, I'm gonna keep shouting it to the end of the season. These players need to get PEDs for recovery so that the best product can be on the floor and they can be at their best peak. I would